to me now, put it in my pocket.
What we're going to talk about is this, and this is just to give everybody a general idea of how things work. This is a system we're going to set up and go behind the scenes, tell you what's happening and why it's happening, and what's happening this weekend. My wife and daughter at one of our events. It's not the best picture in the world, but they'll be here so you guys see them live. Now, this system we're using, she came to my first IMI ever, and in December of last year, and she came over and gave me a hug and told me she's been making money using the system. So I was real excited. Can you share with what you, just real quick, if I can put you on the spot? Just throw some out, your testimony of what happened last time. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, stand up. Oh, here. I'm sorry. Oh, here. Oh, yeah, turn it on. There you go.
Hi, my name is Nikki Curry. I live in California, Nevada. I created a online joint venture system before I knew him called 6 Figures in 45 Days, basically because that's what I earned. I learned also to monetize it even better and faster because I sought out mentors that I was able to relate to, respect, and that were doing the kind of numbers that I wanted to do. Robin. And so I attended Matt's intensive December, and if y'all know me, I never do anything in December because my husband and I take off a month for vacation, and I never ever plan anything. However, this was important to me, and I flew here to Atlanta December, and I learned some incredible things that I not only implemented and made money on, but now I'm forwarding it and adding it into my system. And it turns out that we're now working with somebody that we both know, John Dealey, and that's incorporated. And I'm here again because I wholeheartedly believe in this gentleman. He's made me a lot of money, but I want to learn now the second time because I understand it more. And I'm here because I want to take away some of those pearls of wisdom, again, hearing it the second time. And I brought my husband, Matt, because he's now going to start learning it. So thank you so much, Matt. And all of his team, I've probably talked to them several times in the last 6 months, and they're just incredible, down-to-earth, genuine people. And you guys are so fortunate, like I am, to be here this weekend. So thank you, Matt.
Yeah. So thanks. And we have people that are giving me testimonials. I had one person that did over $1 million since they came to one of my intensive. I had another person that did like $52,000 since they went to one of my intensive, just in a couple weeks after they left. I mean, there's people making money using the system that we're going to do this weekend, and I'm making money too. I mean, using the same thing. I use every single thing that we're going to talk about. It's tested and redefined. The cool thing about it, I mean, I've tested it myself. I'm doing it myself. I'm actually running it in three different of my businesses and on hundreds of different websites out there on the internet. Not only that, I told you a little bit about my technical engineering and marketing degree. It took me about a long time to get all that crap out of my head, what I learned there, because it never really works when you implement it in real life. And then also, I've done some mentoring on some millionaires and some billionaires. And there's 2 billionaires I spent some time with that really changed the way that I think. And it's so awesome that I had the opportunity to make that happen. One thing is just real quickly, what we're going to talk about is not just theory. The cool thing is nothing I'm going to deliver from you while we're here at this intensive is going to be theory. It's going to be like, here's exactly what I did. Here's how I did it. I'm going to draw over here. I'm going to give you, I will tell you, I'm going to give you a little theory because I don't understand it. So I'm going to say, here's the theory behind it, and then for a second, and then I'm going to come over and say, okay, then let's go implement it. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to actually do it. So it's going to go from, there's the thought, but now here, let's make it happen, and we're going to go and we're going to do it. So there will be just a little bit just to let you understand what's about to happen, but we're going to be in implementation. And these are things that I'm doing all the time. Not only that, this is a system that I created for years. Actually, this is a workshop that I've been seeking after. I created this because I've been asking all my friends, the gurus, or even people that have done extremely well. I said, man, would you just let me come to your place or come to an event where I can sit in there, you let me have my computer, let me see what you're doing online so then I can start implementing it while I'm sitting there. And nobody would ever do it. And I was like, what, fine. If you're not going to do it, then I'll do it. And that's kind of why I created it, because I figured the best way for me to learn is actually by doing. And I take in so much more than sitting there and writing notes. Writing notes, actually, I can retain some of it. But the best way for me to retain is if you let me just sit there and just do it. The cool thing, that's what we're going to do this weekend, is we're going to sit, we're going to make it happen. And I'm going to recommend tools that I'm using. Actually, we're going to use the tools that I use this weekend. So this weekend, we're going to use the tools that I use, the hosting that I use, the autoresponders that I use, all the software and everything that I use. And I spend most of my time doing it. So the cool thing is I am doing it. I'm in the trenches all the time, implementing it. We're doing new things. Actually, last night I was up in the room making some tweaks to some things. Josh and I are sitting on the computer and while a couple people were down here, we're up here upstairs just like, oh, here's a new thing. Let's just try this out and test it and see how the results are. The cool thing is she's going to learn new things, even though she was at the December. Well, there's things that I was doing in December that I'm not doing now, or there's more things that I'm doing now that I'm not. So the cool thing is since you guys are here, you're going to get the updated what I'm doing now. And because there's some things I learned, so there might be some tweaks and some changes from what I learned. And actually, there's one real important one that'll be good for you. For sure, I know. And then here's the biggest thing, and hopefully you'll know, but is that I care about you guys' results. I'm here for you guys. Now there's 3 different websites that I use, and I just passed through it because it's real important to get these. 3 different websites that I use. I use a branding site, a sales letter site, and a power squeeze site. Now, out of these sites, let me tell you, a branding site's good for the ego. A sales letter site's a great site to use, but if I had to start all over again, the only site that I would ever set up is a power squeeze page. And a power squeeze page is the one site that when I do my business, all my business, we start off with a power squeeze page. If I can't get people, then if you don't have people, then it's hard to sell products.
Do you want